Please give your response in chat box. I'm audible to all. So Linux is a family of free and open source operating system based on Linux kernel. In case of any problem, please contact me in chat box so that I can see you. So operating system based on Linux are known as Linux distributions such as Debian, Ubuntu, Fedora, CentOS, Gentoo, Arch Linux, and many more. That means these are the Linux distributions in Linux operating system or Linux environment. So market newcomers are Rocky Linux. CentOS changed to CentOS Stream now. How to use Linux operating system? Linux we can use both in GUI and command mode. Newcomers to Linux may find somewhat difficult to approach as Linux file system have a different structure than those found in Linux. That means in Linux that means in Windows system, Windows is completely GUI based, but in Linux it is both GUI and command line mode. But when we will start using Linux and when we will be convenient with Linux, then command prompt will be very easier to us. So in this short session, we will also learn how to use the Linux server or how to operate a Linux server in command line mode only. In GUI, we will not study that how to use the GUI method, but we will learn how to use in command prompt. So Fedora, OpenSUSE and Ubuntu, these are the major Linux distributions. Commercially backed distributions such as Fedora, that means Red Hat. Red Hat operating system is the backend developed by the Fedora, which is a commercially available in market. Likewise, OpenSUSE, which is backed by SUSE, which is backed by OpenSUSE, and Conical Limited, which is backed by the Ubuntu. So Fedora, OpenSUSE, and Ubuntu both are the open source, whereas Red Hat Linux, SUSE, Conical Limited, these are the commercially available operating systems. Commercial means we can purchase the subscription which allow us to take support, OS level support from the parent company. So community driven distributions such as Debian, Fedora, CentOS, Slackware, Gentoo, Arch Linux. That means this is the community driven. We can get the OS related support from the community. Market newcomer are Rocky Linux and Alba Linux. Important terms. Terminal. What is a terminal? Terminal is an input and output environment that presents a text-only window. Shell is a program that exposes the computer's operating system to user or program. In Linux system, the shell presented in a terminal command line interpreter. Now visible? So command line interface is a user interface managed by command line interface program, which processes commands to a computer program and output to the result. That means three major things here in Linux operating system. One is terminal, another is shell, and another is command line interface. Terminal is input output environment, where shell is a program that exposes the computer operating system to the user or a program, where command line interface is the managed by command line interpreter program, which commands a computer program and output the result. These are the three major things we need to remember. Then what is a kernel? Kernel is the main component of the Linux operating system, which is the core interface between computer hardware and its process, which processes memory management, process management, device drivers, system calls, and security. So in Linux operating system, RPM is the extension for the packages which will be installed in Linux operating system. Let me show you. You can see this is a package of telnet package which extension is .rpm. So the RPM extension packages can be installed in the Red Hat operating system. So RPM stands for Red Hat Package Manager. The packages can be installed in both command line and GUI. That means this is the screen what you are seeing now. This is a command line mode and another mode is GUI mode. The packages can be installed both command line and GUI. X86-64 that refers to 64-bit edition. i6-86 refers to the 64-bit edition. i3-86 refers to 32-bit edition. That means in Linux operating system there are three types of packages are available, which will be represented in x86-64, i6-86, i3-86. That means we need to understand which type of operating system we are now using. According to that, we can use the packages. You can see here I am using the x86-64-bit. How you can sure? Using the command uname -r. You can see this is the kernel. This is the kernel having the version x86-64-bit. So using this command, we will be sure that we have to install the packages only x86-64-bit. This means this is a 64-bit operating system I have installed. Before moving forward, we will need to access a computer running Linux-based operating system. That means in further classes, we need to have a operating system, computer having operating system, Linux operating system. It may be a virtual server or a physical server, and that should be connected through SSH, because this is a SSH tool, putty tool, which using this tool we will be access to the server, not directly. We will access the server through the putty tool, which is a SSH tool, using the port 22. OS, RHL or CentOS. That means in further classes we will be use a operating system that may be RHL, that may be CentOS. According to our requirement, we will use this. So what basic tools we will be use in the further classes? Putty. This is a putty. This is a SSH tool. Then FileZilla client, which is a SFTP and FTP solution. That means using the FileZilla client, we will transfer packages to the operating system. And another tool is WinSCP. So FileZilla and WinSCP are the SFTP and FTP tool through which we will transfer packages to the server. Then some basic things, let's run. Slash. Slash is the root. Root means this is the parent directory in Linux. Let me show you. cd slash. Slash means it is called as a root. So pwd, this is parent working directory. That means now I am in slash. That means now I am in the top level directory in the operating system. So all the directory starts from the slash. Likewise in Windows, my computer is the base from where we can navigate to all the folders and directories. In Linux, slash is the parent directory through which we can navigate to other directories. Is it clear to all? Please give your answer in chat box. Generally in Linux, we will not call the directory as a folders, because in Windows system, every where we are navigating to the directory, we will call it a folder, but in Linux, we will call it as a directory. cd/root root. Now we are in /root directory, not in a folder. Folder is the word used in the Windows operating system, but in Linux, we will use as a directory. We will call it as a directory. Okay. So root user is the super user. That means in like Windows operating system, administrator is the master user. Likewise, root is the master user or a super user in a Linux operating system. /root is the home directory of root user. You know, in Windows operating system, when a user try to log into the server, at that time, all the default folders or directories that will be present to that user from the home directory. Likewise, in root also, /root is the home directory for the root user. Now I am in /root. If you will check desktop, document, downloads, these are present for the in the /root directory. It is the home directory of the root user. Please remember this. /root is the home directory for the root user. Likewise, other users home directory are /home/username. You can see other users home directory are present here. 3 users I have created: Vishnu, and VNC. This is the home directory for the other users. That is located in /home. So please remember this one. /root is the home directory for the root user, and /home is the root user home directory for the other users. Likewise, Linux was based on directory and file structure. These are called the directory, and all configurations, server related configuration, user configuration, all are stored in the file base. So, Linux operating system based on directory and file structure, and the default browser is the Firefox. When we will install an operating system, we will get the browser as Firefox. So basic GUI packages are .rpm packages, which may be in x86, i686, and i386. According to our operating system install, we will use the packages. Then system monitor, it is a GUI tool. Setting, this is also GUI option. Likewise, in Windows operating system, network troubleshooting commands are ping and telnet, which is same as the Windows operating system. Then system controller, shutdown and restart. This is also same as the Windows operating system. So in this session, what we learn? In this session, we will learn Linux distribution, Linux architecture, Linux kernel, and some Linux basic commands and some Linux basic things. In next class onwards, we will learn how to install the operating system, and we will go to depth. But before go all the sessions in next classes, please I am requesting you, please I will share the session recording as well as the PPT what I am showing here. Please remember these things, and please type as a Linux is a purely based on command prompt that depends on our practice. So we will practice means it will be easier to learn in future classes. Okay, anyone having any question, please give me your response in chat box.